Hey you guys, welcome to my channel, and sorry this video is coming to you just a little bit late. I had a ton of work I got done this morning, which I was so proud of, and I was just like on a roll, so I just kept plowing through. Then I had a massage, which was also amazing and just great, and then I ran some errands. So today's been a little busy, and I usually try to pre-film and all of that, but it just hasn't been happening lately, so sorry about that, but I'm just excited to kind of be here. I've been looking forward to this all day. It's a book that I really enjoyed, finished a few days ago or maybe about a week ago or so, and just really enjoyed it. It is a spin-off to a previous book, so it is Southernmost by Sadler. Like I said, this is a spin-off to Southern Solstice, which I absolutely loved. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely do. I will leave a link below so that you guys can check out my review and decide whether or not you guys are interested in it. But it is really great. I love these Southern reads so much, and the author herself is so much fun to follow on Instagram. I constantly am finding things that I'm connecting with her about, and she's just the sweetest person, so that just kind of is like the cherry on top with these because I absolutely love them. She also sent them my way, so thank you so much to Sarah for doing that because these I literally treasure. They're so good. But in this book, we follow a character that we were briefly introduced to in the first one. Her name is Kayla, and she has a daughter with this guy named Jackson who plays a larger role in the other book, Southern Solstice. So we get to know a little bit more about them and their relationship. We get our main point of view is from Kayla, and basically Jackson gives her this ultimatum whether he cuts her off and she stays in Alabama or she moves down to South Carolina, and she's moving to Charleston. And so there's just all this like really great like atmosphere, and her kind of trying to find her place in the world because she comes from a trailer park, so kind of like this rag to riches type deal. It's also very humbling watching what happens in here. So she ends up moving, you know, trying to start over, start a life in Charleston there, and just a lot of things kind of happen and take place. So the first thing that I really want to say about this is I was immediately sucked into this world. It was really well done. The foodie aspect of this just had me like drooling, and I wanted more, and I thought that was very intriguing and like perfect just to kind of see a little bit more of that Southern culture, just another layer to be peeled back, because we get a lot of like the architecture, the like fancy parties, the different like class systems kind of going on. So we got a lot of that, but now we get like the food, and I loved it and I wanted more. I thought it was perfect, and again, the vivid descriptions carry over into this. It is so fantastic. You can really picture everything like perfectly. You can feel like you're on the ocean with some of these characters. You can feel the breeze. You can also feel like you're just driving up the lane and looking at the Battery House and just all this really good stuff. So like I said, just the descriptions in general throughout like every aspect are just spot on. Then of course I mentioned a little bit of drama. There is family drama, there's work drama, there's just like relationship drama. There's a lot of drama, but it's not like overly done in any sort of way. It feels very real. You can really relate to it. You can connect to it. You kind of see yourself in some of these situations. So I really liked that. There was also a love triangle, which I am such a sucker for. I feel like sometimes they're not done quite right. I feel like in this one, I found myself being torn between the two guys, Jackson and Brady, just like Kayla was. So I was like bouncing back and forth of whether who I wanted her to really be with. So that was really fun. And then the characters, I think that's like one of the strongest points. I don't think the story was as strong in this one as the first one, but I felt like the characters were so fantastic that it just constantly kept you going. So to start off with Kayla, like I said, it was kind of a rags to riches story for her, and I didn't really like her in the first book, so kind of seeing things change in the second book I found to be very interesting because you got to know her a little better versus like just being like this other woman kind of deal, or somebody like, you know, obviously in another state, just kind of far away, just mentioned briefly. The way that Jackson kind of described her in the first book, you didn't really care for her. So I thought in this one, you got to peel back a lot of her layers as well. You got to see her as an individual person, as like a woman, a working woman, a mother. So I liked these different sides to her, and it really made me start to change the way that I felt about her character. Now, another thing is I wasn't super crazy about how back and forth she was on, you know, in this love triangle, how she was with just certain aspects in her life. I felt like she was so like wishy-washy and like not all there, couldn't make decisions, like just all over the place, which I totally can understand because you're in a new environment, you're a little bit lost, trying to like gain traction and get your feet. So I felt like I could kind of relate to that. And I know that she always was putting her daughter first, which I think is like so great that she wasn't thinking about herself. She was being so selfless. But I think at the same time, in order to take care of her daughter like properly, she really did need to take care of herself. So being able to see her accept her past, start to figure out what she wants, and then kind of moving on. So I think that was a lot of the game changer for me, and when things started to change, why I ended up liking her versus, you know, just being like, meh, she's all right. Her daughter, Avery, was super adorable, really sweet, very cute. So I loved getting a little bit of her involved. And then you had Jackson, who was just a hot mess for a good majority of this book. I liked seeing his transformation and just watching him kind of grow and the character growth that he had. I felt like even from the first book clear through to this book, like he had went through a lot, and so I liked being able to see from start to finish kind of how everything went, and then seeing that he ended out on the other, or kind of like came through it on the other end, and actually was not too bad. He survived it all, and he like actually seems like a really great man now versus just being spoiled and getting what he wants, and like I said, it was humbling to see some of this. Then you have his mother, Pris, who from the first book didn't really seem to like Kayla either, mostly because, you know, they're this uppity family who has this money, and then she's got this trailer park, so they weren't really sure what to think about her. But I like that as Jackson was struggling, she was willing to step in and play that really well, like grandmother role. She helped Kayla out, she was there for Avery, and I felt like she started becoming more open and welcoming, and I really thought that was like heartwarming to see her eyes kind of open and change too, that Kayla is this great person and not like just some gold digger or whatever, so you like trapped Jackson, whatever she thought was happening. So I liked that. I also like that we got some familiar characters. My favorite would have to be Lil. She is so freaking funny and I love her, and I think she's probably my favorite character. She has so much to her, and yet she is so sweet and down to earth, and she comes from all this money, and she's there to help. Like, and I think what she does for Kayla is just phenomenal, and I think characters like that, I could read about Lil all the time because of just how amazing she is, and she's just written really well. I just fell in love with her character from the moment we met her. She is so like sure about herself and what she wants, and like I said, she's just an amazing giving person that is just funny and down to earth, and I loved her. The last character that I really want to talk about is Brady. Oh, Brady. So he is the other part of the little love triangle. I thought that he was so incredible. I think they picked, you know, kind of like depicted him to be this like really smoking hot guy, and yet he also was like confident but not cocky, and I think he was very sure of himself and knew exactly what he wanted out of life, and just like made you feel comfortable. And I think that's what I really liked, and I know that's what was drawing Kayla to him as well, was just, you know, how at ease she can be, how just, yeah, he is just amazing. You're just gonna have to read it and take my word. And I would have loved to get just almost a little bit more from him because I feel like he was kind of in and out, and I would have just loved more. So more on that later. I think this had some great themes playing through it as well, like acceptance of your past in order to move forward. I also think following your dreams played a really big part. There were several characters that had these dreams, whether they realized it or not, and then kind of ended up, things fell into place and they ended up following them, and I loved it. I'm all for taking big risks, following your dreams, and just like going after it. So I really loved that aspect here, and I think the ending, everything just wrapped up so nicely, although a little bit too quickly for me. Right at the end, there was a lot of things that kind of happened that I almost wish would have just extended just another chapter or two, just to really get you more in that moment, to kind of like let things play out a little more naturally, because I just felt like it was just a little bit rushed, but I really enjoyed it. overall, like, especially the ending the way it happened, there was a twist that I didn't really expect to happen, and I was so pleasantly surprised by it that the way it played out, I like did not picture that at all. So I'm so happy with it. Absolutely loved it. And coming back to, you know, wanting more, I would love follow-ups or some kind of updates on these, because I would like to know what Brady is going to be up to. Even bringing Larkin back in, I would love that. Of course, more Lil. So yeah, I ended up giving this a 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. The covers are gorgeous too, and I just, you know, love the South. Love everything that happened in here, and I just highly recommend them. So if you guys are looking for something to read this spring, I think this is so perfect. Again, I will link the first book below, so if you guys want to read them together, I definitely recommend doing that, just because I feel like it gives you so much more backstory, but you don't necessarily need to. But again, I recommend it. They're so fantastic, you guys. They're really quick, easy reads too. I mean, you just fall in love with everything about these, and you just easily breeze through it. So definitely check it out. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, sorry this video is late, but I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely comment below if you've read them or you plan to, so that we can kind of touch base, chat about it. I'm dying to see what everyone else thinks of this ending, because I didn't see it coming. So I was really, really happy with it, because I really felt like something else was going to happen. Didn't at all see what was happening. I was just totally blinded, apparently. But I loved it. It was such a great finish to this. And again, I want more. So comment if you guys have read it, or if you're going to, because like I said, I'm just going in circles now. Holy moly. Apparently, I cannot think, and it has been a long day. But comment. Let me know if you've read it, what your thoughts were. If you have any other spring read recommendations, if you guys have any of those too, leave them below, because I'm going to look for some more. I'm getting close to, I think I had 5, so I'll leave that link below too, that I really wanted to read this spring, and now that it is like almost here, it's just right around the corner, I'm getting close to finishing those, so I would love to get some more recommendations for you guys, from you guys. I'm a mess. Alright, ending this video before I confuse myself or like make more circles with whatever I'm supposed to be talking about. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you on Friday. That video hopefully will be another review for you too on another book I just finished. It was not quite as suspenseful as I thought, but a little bit more of a mystery. It was definitely intriguing. I enjoyed it. I pretty much breezed right through that too. I thought it was a pretty quick read that I ended up really enjoying. Heard mixed reviews, so I definitely want to give my opinion and see what everybody else thought of it too. So yeah, so that will be coming on Friday, and then again, a whole new set of videos next week. So definitely stay tuned, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye, you guys.